Hey fellow ship scrappers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts. Episode 26, I feel like just a poor peasant. So this passenger vessel is pretty awesome. I mean, it had field coils, for God's sakes. That's awesome. Field coils, so the parts that are probably the most rare to find of a reactor are intact field coils, because often the field coils blow out from the bottom of the reactor, even when there's a reactor core on top. Frequently there aren't field coils beneath. And then HE tanks are probably the most important, because the fuel ratios, HE tanks to D2O tanks is like 13-to-1. So if you're really trying to like travel efficiently and not make a lot of pit stops for fuel, you would need a lot of helium tanks as a result, which they're not 13 times more common. Which makes it a little tricky. I don't really care about thrusters at the moment. I'm good with the amount of thrust that my ship provides. I think I checked most of these bins. Don't think I checked the subfloor bins of the fridge. I don't know what I'm like looking to even find though. Did I get the scrubber? I did, yeah. I didn't get like the filters of the scrubber, but that's not a big deal. That's not the cost-effective things of the scrubber. Although I might want the CO2 can. Just because it can be annoying at times to try to find a CO2 can. It's like not expensive, but it's not always sold. Maybe the Sundries always sells it. I forget. But whatever, we have the CO2 set up now. Alright. Anything else here? Besides thrusters? Not really. Oh, one more working cooler. What do you do with the loose ablative plates? So the way the reactor works, it's a fusion reactor, and the ablative plates here, which I should honestly, you're right, haul, help to keep the reaction contained, right? Otherwise it would melt down or whatever. If you have a lot of cooling for your reactor, you don't, like if you have core pump and multiple cryo pumps and things like that, you won't be wearing out your core liners very frequently. So you can design a reactor to not require a lot of liners if you want. But because I intend to use the fusion reactor as literally just like a battery, I don't really need to worry too much about that. And I can always install more than the bare minimum for reactions. But if I'm treating the reactor as a battery, I really only need to focus on its cooling. I don't care about its fuel efficiency as much, because I'm not going anywhere with it. So it's basically just a giant battery that should be cooled. The caveat, however, is the reactor rooms do tend to be pretty hot. They run hot. So keeping some of these coolers for the reactor room itself might be a good idea, so that the heat doesn't bleed into the rest of the ship. Where do you install them? You install them literally into your core. Your reactor core, you load them into your reactor like fuel. You love the series and how I play? Well, thank you. Cheers. Guess I'll take my helmet off. Oh boy, restoring the frickin' HE tank. That's gonna take forever. What'd you have to remind me about? Oh god, I don't even know anymore. I'm doomed? What is... Oh, this is... carbon fiber? Oh, I have a whole stack of carbon fiber in here. Here's scrap aluminum. Trying to, like, put my stuff away. All the scrap I'm currently holding, I, like, don't even need. It's fine. Do I have my dolly? I don't think I have my dolly. I think I ditched my dolly. But I ditched my dolly 2 ships ago? I feel bad. Sorry, dolly. Oh no, it's right here. It's in the back of my ship with the walls. Yay, I didn't destroy dolly. I don't care what Port Authority wants. I don't want to talk to them. They scare me. Reminder about my license. I actually found an updated license. So I'm still going to be valid for a bit longer. If you're ever zoomed out like this, you can hit STN, which is like your zoom. Alright, hailing ship. B4386. You are my next target. And once you get good at it, like, I just fly into these things at, like, high speed. The game's pretty forgiving about the... Oh, this is tiny. A dough medium. Famous after death. How Picasso of you. I don't see people. I see a lot of garbage. Yeah, just a lot of garbage and a nav station that broke. The O2 can is pretty full, though. Wait, is there a... What is this pump doing? This is a suicide pump. Normally, pumps, when they're installed like this, their intakes will then feed to a CO2 can with a CO2 filter to be able to filter out CO2 out of the cabin. This one doesn't have that. It's just a pump out to space. It's a vacuum pump. It's a, hey, you get to suffocate pump. Okay. It's a sump pump. Orders. All. Oh, I never uninstalled this. They would help. And I'm basically done here. I mean, I'll search bins, but I don't really suspect I'll find much. No, pretty much nothing. Alright, well, that was fun. Next ship. I'm getting kind of far from K-Leg, so I'll go over here. Let's call it west. And I always like to do bearings first, because as soon as you have bearings, then you can start accelerating while killing your cross velocity by strafing. And then, of course, there's the maneuver drive throttle here over here. So right now, full thrust, I'm only pulling 0.44 Gs. I usually keep this at around 0.7. It depends on the health of your character. If you're, like, feeble, you're going to want fewer Gs because you can't withstand them. But my character's not that feeble. And what is the ETA to this place? I forgot to check. We are 24 minutes out. At some point, my character will want to take a bit of a rest. Plus, I'm assuming my batteries... Yeah, my batteries are going to need a recharge. So we're going to have to get back to K-Leg sooner or later to do a bit of a refresh for batteries and the like. You wish there was more to do in the mid to late game? Yeah, that's something that's really missing in this game. Once you have like a few $1 million and you can buy citizenship and an apartment, there really isn't much else to do. With that said, it's still fun as hell. One of the things I kind of wish that they would allow you to do is like to build a flotilla. That would be really cool. I really want to build like my own base. And they have all the game mechanics like existing in the game already to make that possible. But, you know, it doesn't exist yet. So it's like, man, maybe someday. I don't know if it's in the cards, though. Oh, is that overlapping? Yeah. Oh, come on now. Why do I have a ×3? ×3 what? Oh, ×3 small electrical parts. Okay. Where'd my character go? What? There he is. If I keep interacting with Testudo, I'll go to the ship dealer and find one that isn't. Or go back to the Dauntless or something. There's a lot of other solutions that I could take. I just haven't bothered yet. Alright, all my stuff seems to have good charge. Oops. The OT-344 has no empty docking port. Yep, that's true. Someone beat me here. There's another Salvager that's, took my spot. Rude. So let's kill the cross velocity and just do, like, a maneuver burn. Bathing this jerk in engine wash. Well, we go to the next target. Alright, there we go. I got sniped, I know. Frickin' stream snipers. So after this next one, I'll consider heading back to port and selling all the things that aren't immediately necessary for the reactor room. Which also includes likely the extra pellet feeders, the coolers, because that stuff is pretty common to find and I don't need to be storing it on my boat, limiting my salvage capability. Come on, be a big... It is... ultra large. Wow, it has 8 rooms? Holy moly. Holy moly, it's a boat. It's a big old boat. Alright, before I go ashore, I'm going to want to empty out my pockets to make sure that I have plenty of loose stuff room. I don't see life signs, I don't think. Kind of hard to tell because it's like glary. But we'll see. Oh, it's a yacht. Okay. It's a Lux yacht. You could tell by the Hummel on the ground. Well, maybe it has some good stuff. Maybe, just maybe. It also seems to have charge. Well, no, it's just glowing. Take that back. So, the Hummel stuff is, like, not that much more expensive than the standard floors and walls, but it's supposed to be, like, the luxury stock, the luxury design. Ooh! A cherry wood bar top corner. So one of the things that you can find in the Lux yachts is, like, fancy furniture. And, it obviously serves very little purpose, but it can be money. Orders, haul that. Now let's keep going. So I'll search this first room first, and then we'll work our way around the ship methodically. Oh, that's a lot of water. Sure. Look at you with your frickin'... Wait. This is rice wine. No, sorry, I don't want to act... Okay, their entire sink is full of rice wine. Man, do I ever feel like a peasant. Wow. Wow. I've never felt so poor in my life. You know what? Hold on. 1 second. When you can't beat 'em, Join them. Ah, that does not taste good, given that I was just drinking coffee. Ah. Yeah. Got myself some sake, too. Alright, what the hell else is on this ship? A sink full of sake, because, you know, why not? You know what? I'm probably past the point of, like, O2 cans are worth anything. Alright, this is actual water. This time. I was like, why is this water stacking to 4? Ah, because it's not. What about this sink? I kind of want to check all the sinks now. I've also heard people finding, like, vodka in the sinks. That's, like, apparently a thing. You know, the ship looks pretty run down in this section. This is the poor people section. Where, yeah. Where they keep the pores. There's a lot of alarms, which could be useful. Where have I not searched? Searching these giant boats is pretty tricky, because they're so large, it's like easy to get lost and not have a concept of where you are in relation to everything else. Yeah, these Lux boats are like, oh, here we go. Here's some data. Oh, if I could grab it, dear lord, drop. So, bathroom. And of course, in rich people fashion, it's full of... Actually, it's full of amoxicillin. I guess they're trying to fight STIs or something. I don't know. I'm gonna go with this was a hoboat. Okay, this is weird. Is this powered? No? Why can't it, fine, whatever. Uninstall it. It wasn't letting me pry it open. So they've got a bunk. Another cooler. More sinks. Which I can't help but to check if they're full of wine. Yeah. I think this is the outside of the ship. Yeah, I clicked outside. Go back inside. Alright, so what sections have I not searched? I'm trying to, like, methodically work my way through it. So here is maybe a reactor room? Yep, this does seem to be. So we've got a fuel regulator, which is a part that I'm going to need for the reactor. A cryo pump. I don't think I have a cryo pump. Core pump. They have 2 core pumps. A capacitor. Yeah, so they have a lot of the parts that I would want, which is great. And my character, I think, is getting... The tiredness is starting to catch up with me. Alright, let's see if any of these crates... Yeah, so some of these crates are hackable. And they might have parts needed to restore the things in this room. Yep, that does seem to be a possibility. So we'll hack them open so that I don't have to go running so far for stuff. Pet the dog. Oh yeah. Lots of junk. Repair junk. So again, what we're looking for here is we already have the field coils. We already have the core systems. We don't have an MHD. We have a pellet feeder. We just got a fuel regulator. We are staring at a laser capacitor. I haven't repaired it yet. We don't have a laser. We have a cryo pump. We don't have a cryo tank. We don't have a D2O tank. So we are looking pretty good. There's just a few pieces left that is needed. But I haven't searched this entire ship, so this ship might end up having heavy water tanks. That's a possibility. And I will also flip this battery around to see if we can't restore power to the ship. It might be annoying sounding though, that's my only concern. If there's a bunch of alarms blaring. Okay, orders, hull, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, reactor room. Down here, there's just batteries and empty bins, not much else. Alright, in here. Busted cooler. Busted fridge. Fridge had coffee. What's the best thing to sell when you scrap a ship? Like what items you're looking for? Are you asking, like, what exactly are you asking? So that I can answer it correctly. So the items you're looking for would be... The biggest ticket items would be a Hydra thruster, and then D2O tanks and helium tanks that are full. Most of the reactor parts, but not all the reactor parts. Some parts of reactors are pretty worthless. But generally speaking, you can grab all the reactor parts because they're all going to be worth something. They're just, some are worth more than others. And then apart from that, oxygen tanks that are full or close to full, you know, that sort of deal. All right, so we've got... Oh, well this is... I don't really need to unlock this, but whatever. Treadmills aren't worth much. I want to get in that room. I could just bust the wall, but let's keep walking around the ship. Yes, CO2 scrubbers and coolers are also worth a bit. Tanks, you know, like suits. Suits are worth a bit, like not pressure suits, but the actual suits are worth a bit. PDAs can be worth a lot. Not all of them, but some of them. Depends on the data that's on them. So those are the bigger ticket items that I would be looking for early game. And generally speaking, the value of an item can be seen up here. So the rough value tells you kind of a lot of information about if it's worth grabbing or not. So rough value of like $3 or $4 are going to be better than rough value of like $1. Oh, we have a Hydra. Another Hydra. Hot damn. Alright, it's broken, but like, hell yeah. Let's repair that up. And then we have another cooler. And then a bunch of bins. Where? Wow, I had to go far and wide for the Hydra parts. This is obviously the, I think the final room of the ship, because I've gone everywhere else. But not bad. This boat had quite the haul. Quite the booty. They have mobile space system light framework stuff here. I guess as replacements? I don't know. Right, checking the racks, and then I will just auto haul the rest of the stuff. Don't we on a 4 Hydra loadout now? No, I'll be selling them for sure. I gave a whole spiel last stream or the stream before that at some point, if you have so many Hydras, that the weight of the Hydras alone makes it less fuel efficient than having fewer Hydras. And then I gave the analogy of like having a car with a gas tank that could hold 100 gallons. Filling up that tank wouldn't really make a lot of sense unless you plan on using all 100 gallons. All right, so let's auto haul. Bring in all of our goodness into our home boat. Yeah, I would say, generally speaking, the dollary dues that you see up here, the rough value, gives you a pretty good estimate of what's worth something. And I usually just grab the 3 or more stuff. Also keep in mind that items that are really broken will increase in value as you restore them. So a like broken cooler versus a fully restored cooler might show different values. Yeah, so this is a good example. This cooler that is fully restored is $4. And this one that is not fully restored is $3. So you have to consider that when things are in bad condition, they're worth less, but you can restore it. So keep that in mind when you're looking for things to grab. I think it's saying I literally don't have room, so let's Tetris up some space. Oh, come on. It fits right here. Just put it the hell down. Auto. So I need to make room for a cooler, a fuel regulator, and something else. Laser array? Laser capacitor? Alright, so the fuel regulator didn't fit. I can fix that. In fact, that's a what, a 3x3? Yeah, so we'll have to make a 3x3's worth of room. Got it. Which means you come with me. Because you can fit right here, no problem. I probably don't have this as like a valid haul zone. But even if I did, it's not 3x3 size, so it wouldn't have fit the fuel reg. And that is everything. We have grabbed everything I intended to grab. So let's push off and limp back to K-Leg. Limping just because I want to go slow because there's a lot to restore. I don't need to get to K-Leg quick. Just soon enough that I don't lose battery power. And I have 83 kilowatts in reserve, so I shouldn't be losing battery power all that soon. So in this case, K-Leg is, as you can see, it's on the opposite side of 1036 Ganymede. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly to this ship here as like a let's fly to this ship here as like a waypoint. So I fly here and then fly to K-Leg. That's going to be better than trying to like make a checkpoint in my head. And then we'll zoom all the way in to this ship, strafe off of it so we don't slam into it. There we go. Line up. And turn and burn. Okay, 60 meters per second, that's fine. There is so much stuff to restore here. Oh my goodness. Now, realistically, it would be more efficient to restore the things that I intend to sell and not worry so much about the things that I intend to install as part of the reactor, and that would save me time. So I'm going to try to micromanage it so that I'm installing things that I intend to sell first, like the intakes and coolers. And nav panels. So what else? Oh, this is a straight up broken core pump. I did not mean to pull that in unfixed. And again, I intend to keep the bare minimum of what we're working towards. So this bare minimum here. The exception to that is if I did find extra helium tanks, I would like consider keeping them because helium tanks are, to do efficient torch burns, you kind of need a few of them. That would be the one exception. Wait, why did I grab this heater? Why did I grab a heater? I'm so confused. I don't need a heater. Well, whatever, I'll sell it. Oops. It's so easy to, like, pull your... I feel like the hitbox for taking your suit off should just be your torso or something. So I find myself, like, pulling my suit off accidentally quite often. So other things that we're looking to sell and not keep. I think everything that we want to sell and not keep I've restored now, so we can just restore auto. Okay, are we... We're still in the shadow of 1036 Ganymede, so I'm going to keep traveling our path. I mostly just use the transfer burns in order to calculate, like, next step maneuvers. I am going to grab the better permit, the longer permit, and this is probably transfer time. Yep. Oops. I was adding to my cross velocity. That's not correct. There we go. So we'll be there in 22 minutes. And I think by then, almost everything on this ship that needs to be restored will be, and even the things that I'm intending to install in my reactor room will be restored as well. But we should make a pretty good penny from this. I'm at 340k-ish, and I'm guessing even, like, if I sold everything, it would be like another 150, 200k. But even what I'm parting with will probably be like 75k or so. Is there a boneyard at Venus? There is, but not really. There's a few ships, but not a lot of wrecks. The vast majority of wrecks, like 95% of all the wrecks in the game, are in the boneyard, not orbiting elsewhere. So there's not a lot of money to be made scavenging and salvaging once you leave K-Leg. Surprisingly enough, no one tried to murder me while I was, out in space. No meat, no murder. It's kind of nice. For real? For real? For real? Frickin' idiot. I just got hit. Damage overlay. Why didn't we ever restore this? I don't even know. I don't really see any damage that wasn't here before. But now, before we do anything else, let's make sure that we're not on some sort of, like, ejection trajectory, because that dude did just smack at us. Yep. Oh, God, look at that. Relative velocity to K-leg is, hundreds of meters per second. Frickin' idiot. Yo, you. Why are you traveling that you salvage tug moron? You. Hail ship. Come here. Alright, this was, if you're wondering, a ding-dong ditch. I don't actually intend to have them dock or anything. I'm just trying to waste their time. Alright, so we're still trying to get to K-leg, so let's go and fix our bearing, and then the massive ejection trajectory that this jerkwad just sent us on. I'm glad I have all that, like, extra thruster juice, because, like, if I didn't, this would have been annoying. Because the amount of delta V they added to us in the opposite direction was not inconsequential. We went 300 meters per second the wrong direction, which is kind of incredible. Okay, we're attempting to dock again. Let's hope some wackadoo don't oh, you frickin' kidding me! What not? You boarding us now? Yeah, I did radio you, but you didn't have to slam into me again. Ow! Frickin' You know what? Yeah, hold on. Yo! You! I'm gonna have words with this dude. Oh, Jesus. We're okay, here we go. Ya doofus! Frick's wrong with you, Isabel? Frick's wrong with you? Calm down. No, you know what? What? I like how my only options here is murder. You make a mildly funny comment to me. I like how all of my responses is stab. Alright. Let's see. What would make the most sense in this situation? You. Do you know what? Here we go. You want to ram me? I'm venting your boat, you moron. There. Enjoy. Bye. I hope you choke on your stupidity. Nothing like punching a hole in someone's hull and just being like, alright, bye. I'm done with you. Should have broke her transponder. I was thinking about that, but I figured just uninstalling a random hull piece and just like having her vent all of her atmo out to space was like ultimately a pretty good solution. All right, let's get the hell away from them, because they're... Look at their ship! They're just like, whee! Freaking cowgirl. What an idiot. Whoever gave you a pilot's license was a moron. I'm just creating another derelict with a mysterious death? Yes. It'll just be like, had suffocated. No foul play detected. Yeah, she's doing donuts in the backyard of K-Leg. Like a dummy. You don't think there's pilot licenses in this universe? I mean, you do pay for a transponder. That's sort of like a license. Although, there doesn't seem to be a test. They just hand them out like candy if you pay. Which is, you know, one way to make sure you don't have collisions. I guess it keeps me in business, because all of those morons out there colliding with one another pays my salvage bills. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow spacefarers.